feel like we're always going to the doctor these days.
Seems like it.
I'm Sue.
And I'm Steve.
And
we're aging joyfully.
And one way of doing that is by trying to control health problems.
Controlling what you eat, how much you exercise.
And also the stress. Having a best friend you live with, walking Sierra. We have our Sierra videos on there. I'll attach those links too.
She wants to get out and walk today.
Yes.
Couple miles.
Yeah, we're doing so many projects at the same time because our daughter is moving in with us. So we are rearranging, probably 50% of our furniture. We're moving things around, trying to get more storage, more efficient storage. So we're hanging a lot of things for storage and decluttering, giving away clothes that no longer fit us from losing our weight. We've got bags and bags of clothes.
And that's the worst thing from losing weight, or it could be the best thing. But the clothes that you bought not too long ago. So we went to the dentist back in January, and they split up our appointments to where they did a check of your teeth, and then you came back for a cleaning. And it just seemed strange to me because we hadn't done that in the past. Whenever they did an exam of your teeth, they would do a cleaning at the same appointment.
Yeah, and then our son told us his dentist is also doing that, so that may be a new trend. They say they want to see if you need that deep cleaning because a lot of people didn't go to the dentist for years.
A pandemic kept a lot of people away from the dentist.
After the dentist, we went to the eye doctor and had our yearly checkup.
Right, and everything was fine with that.
And then go into February, we went ahead and had our blood work taken a month before our physicals so we could discuss the results with our doctor. That was not typical. We did that for the first time last year, and we thought that was much better because if you have it done and then, if you have your physical and then the blood work, the doctor can't talk to you about the results.
I think it's very smart to have your blood work done ahead of time, and that way any results that were odd or out of the norm, then you could discuss it right then and there. And if action needed to be taken, the doctor could talk to you about that.
So then in March, we had our physicals, and that's when we were told we were pre-diabetic. And we have to go back in mid-June to have our A1C retested.
Right. So during that blood work that was done, they did an A1C test, which is you test for high sugar in your blood, and that is usually what tells them if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic or nothing at all. And so that's what told our doctor that we were pre-diabetic, and she talked to us about being pre-diabetic and what you'd have to do to keep from becoming diabetic.
And at that time, Steve was able to reduce his blood pressure pills down to half because he had lost so much weight over the past 4 years. He probably could have done it years ago, but our previous doctor never mentioned it. I have seen a YouTube video recently that the doctor on there said that once you're on blood pressure medications, doctors don't typically talk to you about reducing them. Now for me, I get extremely dizzy if I'm on them, and I've always been borderline, and I honestly don't even know if I ever needed to be on it because my blood pressure was always taken quickly after getting to the office without me sitting and resting. I always thought it was elevated, and I was always nervous. But I reduced my pills on my own because I was always borderline, and the doctor's office did confirm that it was still low with quitting my pills. I could still quit because and I do monitor it at home a minimum of 2 to 3 times a week, usually first thing in the morning and maybe occasionally throughout the day. So Steve is doing that too. We went in today for them to take an official reading to see if that's matching our home readings.
Right. So as Sue said, I had cut my blood pressure pills in half, and then I had lost a couple more pounds. Been taking my blood pressure most mornings, three times a week, basically. And my blood pressure was always low in the morning. And so that was telling me that maybe I could reduce my blood pressure pills even more. But the whole key from what I have found and what I have heard from other people is losing weight is how you really can reduce your blood pressure pills if you're on them.
And the salt.
And the salt. Oh, absolutely. reducing salt and sugar in your diet. But we went today, and my blood pressure was pretty good. Was in the lower range, and the doctor suggested that I head on a path to eliminate blood pressure pills. And so she wanted me to reduce what I was taking in half, continue to monitor my blood pressure, and send her results every week.
But they, again, did not let him sit for 5 minutes. We walked up, kind of ran up 2 flights of steps, and we were called in pretty quickly after arriving. And so it was not even 5 minutes. So his blood pressure was, I believe, slightly elevated because he did not rest for those 5 minutes. I was going to ask her to take it again, but I thought, she said just send it in weekly, and we'll go with that. But I felt like, because she did point out it was higher than last month when he was on the higher pills. But I did tell her that we had run up the 2 flights of steps. I jumped on the scale to see if I had lost any weight, because I wanted to use the same scale, and I had lost exactly 5 pounds from 1 month ago. We went in exactly 1 month later, and I had lost 5 pounds. And Steve and I have been making a big effort to continue to reduce our sugar and carbs, and it's been a major effort in doing this. I find that I have to walk 15,000 steps a day to lose weight, and that's not really sustainable. In my world, to do 15,000 steps, that's pretty tough. That's a lot of steps. I mean, that's including exercising, working out, aerobics, whatever. So that's kind of hard to get 15,000. Yesterday, I had an eye doctor appointment because last week I started getting floaters, and I've never had those in my life. Steve has had them, right?
Oh yeah, they disappear after time.
So I researched it, and it said that you usually get them between age 50 to 60. And it said you can probably not go to the doctor, but if you have flashing lights or some blockage, like looking to the left or right, that if there's grayish or whitish or where your vision is blocked, that's instantly serious, and you need to go instantly because you could become blind if your retina is detaching. I've known 2 people who had holes in their macula, and that's a serious condition. So I have been told by several eye doctors that I'm in a high risk for having a retinal detachment or tear. So I didn't want to take it lightly because it is my vision. I didn't think it was serious. But and in January, I did ask the eye doctor to dilate my eyes, and she said they were very healthy in January, but I don't want to risk my vision for anything. So we did go to the eye doctor, and she said that there's no sign of a rip, although it could still happen. She said if you have any of those other symptoms within 24 to 48 hours, you have got to get to the doctor or you can go blind in that eye. So it is a serious issue, and it's a normal part of aging. Although I think when we did research it a little bit, it did say that the high blood sugar does contribute to floaters. Isn't that what you saw? Mm-hmm.
Right, but it's mainly made up of a gel pad behind your eyes that you have when you're born, and over time they deteriorate, and as they deteriorate, they float around in your eye, behind your eye.
Right, that's what the doctor told us, and she said you no longer need that gel pad, right?
Right.
So it would normally deteriorate. So anyway, that's just a very annoying thing to see these spots floating around, or strings. It could be spots, string. It looks like a spider web in my eye. And so your brain has to adapt, and just you won't be seeing it anymore. It could take from 1 to 6 months. Within a week, I believe mine has gone down, except for when you go outside, the bright light does make it more noticeable because it's usually dark spots. Any concerns you have, please call your doctor or see your doctor. Again, we're not medical professionals. This is our personal experience of issues we are having in aging, and it's all good though, right?
That's right, it is. You're still healthy, you're still alive, you're still enjoying life.
We are doing preventative things. And also I had my mammogram in, when was that, February, March?
I think so.
No, I think it was March.
March.
After our appointment, she gave me the mammogram order. So I had that in March. And I do have to go yearly because my sister had breast cancer. If I had no close relative with breast cancer, they said I could go every 2 years, which was surprising to me. But I did go yearly, and this is the first year a 3D was automatically covered in a physical. That's never happened. I've only had 2 3D mammograms in my entire life, and I think it's about time that we get 3D mammograms.
It's true. There's always an advancement in what insurance companies will pay for and won't. And this is a good advancement to where they're covering 3D mammograms for women, the insurance company that we're with.
Right. Other insurances, we just switched this year, and other insurances may or may not cover it. It's different for everybody.
So I'm also cutting my cholesterol too. I've stopped taking my cholesterol pills back in March when we had our physical, and we're going to go in June and have blood drawn, and let's see where my cholesterol is. Hopefully it's on a good path, and I'm able to stay off of statins, which we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And then as we were leaving, I just mentioned our sleep apnea because we never really had any follow-up. We got our machines 4.5 years ago. We never actually saw a sleep doctor. It was a class of 30 people who it was, I don't know what she was, a technician or something, told us how to do the test. Then we went back and had it read by a technician, but we never actually saw a sleep doctor, never had any follow-up, never were told anything. And I just said, do we ever do anything with our sleep machine? Do we ever get retested?
Right.
And she said, why? And I was just thinking, because I know when we got our machines, I asked the guy, the technician, if we were to lose weight, could we give up our machines? And he said, no, never. You will have this machine the rest of your life, even if you lose weight. So we never really thought we'd get tested again, but I just thought I'd just like to know where we stand. So she said, yeah, actually, this new doctor told us you're supposed to be tested every 5 years. And I said, well, it's been 4.5. And she said, well, it's good you told me now because it's going to be a few months to get an appointment. So she put in an order for the sleep study, which this time it will be mailed to us. It was such a nightmare to have to drive an hour to pick up the kit and then drive an hour the next day to have the kit read. That was a nightmare when you're tired. Half the people were falling asleep in the class. I mean, to have somebody who's suffering from sleep, who's sleep deprived, to have to drive an hour to be told how to do this when you could just mail them. So that was good to know. You could just mail this in. So we'll be doing that, I don't know, maybe August or so.
Right. So all of this is about your health matters. And so really taking care of your health is so important. If you don't have health, life can be very difficult and very, very expensive. And so it's important to take steps to make sure you're getting a good night's sleep. That's